Yeah, Jim, with wind chills dipping into the negative 20s overnight, it's become very important that nobody stays outside. And that's why this shelter has chosen to stay open for the last 24 hours.
Well, we've all heard those warnings. You have to be careful when driving on snow and ice, and you have to watch out for black ice. But we are going to show you why you need to take those warnings seriously. We actually have a driver in this car behind me, and he is going to get up to about 10 miles per hour. And when he gets to this patch of ice and these cones right here, he's going to slam on his brakes, and we're going to see just how long it takes before his car stops. So I'm going to step out of the way. Here he goes. So see right there, that car at that rate of speed, it should have stopped way before, almost immediately by these cones, and that wasn't the case. Just think if he would have gone even a little bit faster, how far he would have traveled before that car came to a stop. This is the situation that people encountered this morning, and it's still a threat and a danger tonight.
Jim, Deb, today investigators know a lot more. Not only did they identify the victim, but they also found his car.
Well, Deb, it's obviously a little bit warmer out here tonight, but still it's cold, and we are still early in the winter season. Part of the problem is increased demand. Volunteers and shelters that we spoke with tonight say they have seen more people in just the last couple of weeks than they'd expected to help the entire season.
Deb, the man accused is Tommy Rains. He's already been arrested and faced a judge. Today, the DA spoke about the charges.
Now, our new governor did not go over any of his new policies during his inauguration speech, but we will have a special one-on-one interview with him tomorrow. Reporting live in Topeka, Monica Castro, KAKE News.
We're here at Interfaith Ministries Emergency Winter Shelter, where they're just now starting to serve tonight's dinner. As you can see, these volunteers are loading up plates to serve the folks here. The shelter is open every day from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m., but because of today's bitterly cold temperatures, they decided to stay open all day, even though it is a holiday. The emergency shelter is open to the community's homeless during the winter months. This is from November to March, and they provide hot meals and a warm bed to those in need. And the shelter here will be open till 7 a.m. tomorrow. Live in downtown Wichita, Jacqueline Chappell, KAKE News. Yeah, Deb, as you just said, the bodies of those two victims have been recovered from this grain bin. Take a look at the scene behind me. You can see there are still multiple emergency responders here on the scene, at least a dozen vehicles out here. And we're told that between 30 to 35 emergency workers who were working to recover these two victims. We've seen emergency vehicles move in and out of the scene as units had been trading out because of the cold. Now, 911
Sedgwick County firefighters actually train inside grain bins about 2 to 3 times a year, and that training did come into play yesterday. They actually use equipment like this that you see here to rescue victims inside grain bins. This is a piece of equipment that costs about $5,000. Now, firefighters say
the chief was made aware of the illegal gambling operation that happened right here in this building by Douglas in Washington, just a month into getting into that role as chief of police.
Jim, drivers by now are well aware of the constant changes in construction over here in this interchange. Tomorrow, it's going to be a major change, so we want to tell everyone about it and prepare them so that they can get around this. So, lanes, Jim and Deb, until today, we didn't know what charges Tyler Barris was being held on, but according to jail records, we now know he's being held on 3 complaints. One of those is involuntary manslaughter. The Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office flew its plane to Los Angeles to pick up Barris this morning, and he made it to Wichita and was booked into the jail after 3 o'clock this afternoon, and this is his new mugshot.
And Deb, we're at the corner of Douglas and Washington, and it's in one of the apartments across the street from us where investigators say that entire operation took place. A federal indictment just unsealed reveals that a current Wichita police officer, a former Wichita police officer, and a highway patrol. And Jim, we're actually in South Wichita tonight. This is the neighborhood where Andrew Finch was killed by a police officer nearly a month ago. This week, his family filed this lawsuit in court. They say they're not doing it for money reasons. Instead, they want the police department to change its policies.
Yeah, Jim, Deb, the family of Andrew Finch filed a lawsuit in the federal court today in it they claim the police department failed to have their officers properly trained for the situation.